Max, have you heard of an anime called Captain Tsubasa?
Yes, it's the soccer anime. I think it's fairly old, and I think they're like kids, and everybody are super hyped about kids playing soccer.
Yes. It is very old. Captain Tsubasa, the manga started back in 1984 and is continuing to run to this day. Um,
Wow.
it is approaching its end. Like the author has said that they are working towards actually finishing it.
Like
Uh
40 years later.
yes.
Yes.
So I think in the current arc, I've not read all of it because I'm not insane. But but
Mhm.
I think in the current arc, like all the kids are no longer kids and they're like in their 30s and getting ready to retire from the sport. So
Wow.
like it's gone on through their like entire life. But so I I found out about Captain Tsubasa because of the PS4 game that got released back in 2018 or 2019, which was Captain Tsubasa Rise of the New Champions, which is a really, really fun, like soccer RPG with some management sim type stuff in it also.
Nice.
I absolutely fell in love with it. At the time I was like I had gotten back into soccer and I was watching a lot of soccer and I was wanting to find like a kind of arcadey soccer game to play that wasn't just FIFA because I didn't want to just play FIFA. I didn't want a simulation game like that. I wanted something that was a little bit more casual and
Mhm.
loose. And so I eventually found that and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's one of my favorite games to this day. I love popping it on, just playing a couple matches every once in a while. It's really really fun. I never did get into like the online thing because there is like the card packs like FIFA has in that game if you want to get into the online
Mhm.
stuff where like you can earn characters and all that bullshit. But we're not here to talk about the video game Captain Tsubasa. We're here to talk about for a moment the reanimation of Captain
Ooh.
Tsubasa
Okay.
because so back in the 80s, it after the manga kind of took off and became popular, it got an anime adaptation, at least the first several arcs did, and I never did watch that. But then in 2022, for some reason, they reanimated like the first arc or the first couple of arcs of Captain Tsubasa, and they kind of updated it where like people have cell phones and tablets and things like that, because originally took place
Okay.
in the 80s,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it to make it feel more modern, they had to update some things about it, but
Mhm.
like it's still the same basic story. So essentially the story of this is that Subasa is this kid who's grown up and he loves soccer. Like that's what he likes.
Mhm.
And so his goal is to become a professional soccer player and he's living in Japan and he's like since this is back in the 80s, Brazil was the soccer capital of the world. Like Brazil
Yeah.
was on top of the world. They were the best. So he wants to go to Brazil
Okay.
and join the Brazilian national team. But in order to do that, he has to prove himself capable and worthy.
Mhm.
And in order for him to do that, he has to win a bunch of games of soccer and prove that he's good
Mhm.
enough to be able to play on an international level. So the story starts out where like he has to play and his team they like they get into the like local competition between some of the schools in their province and
Mhm.
they win that pretty like undefeated, like nobody can touch them, like him and there's a couple other players that I'm going to absolutely butcher the name, but I believe his
It's
name is
fine.
Wakiyabashi, who's the
Okay.
goalkeeper. He's like the best goalkeeper in Japan. By the way, these kids are 7 at the start of this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but he's considered like one of the best goalkeepers. So they're on the same team and then this other kid comes in and I don't remember his name off the top of my head because I don't have notes in front of me.
Mhm.
But they get called the golden duo for this initial arc. And then that other kid, he has to leave because his father like travels for work, so he's always bouncing around through all these different schools. and so they win this little local tournament, and Tsubasa starts getting like noticed on the national level, and yeah, it kind of progresses from there, where like he has to go and play with his school in the national team and try and bring the school to win the national youth tournament, and he does. And
Spoiler.
yeah, spoiler for, a 40-year-old fucking manga, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good, and like I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't know if I like it. I don't think I like it as much as some of the other sports shonen that I've been watching recently.
Mhm.
But it's just fun, and it's full
Yeah.
of positivity and fun characters, and like all of his like rival characters, who also, spoilers, he end up having to be on a team with in the season that I'm about to start watching.
Yeah.
But
Classic anime stuff, right?
yeah, so like each one of the most powerful teams from all of Japan, they all have like their one star player or their two star players, like the best players in their province, in their area. And eventually all of those kids end up having to get together onto one team to form the national team, to then be
Yeah.
able to take on a European league, which is where I'm about to start watching now. Which the game also goes through that initial National League arc, so I know all of
Mhm.
those characters too.
Cool.
And yeah, it's a fun time. It's
Yeah.
it's
I
it's
bet.
cute. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Y-
enjoying it.
Have you? I have two questions. First question is, I don't remember if I asked you, but do you watch all of your anime subbed or dubbed?
Usually subtitled,
Okay.
but it also depends on the anime. So like there's some that I will absolutely that I'll like vouch for the dub over the sub. Like I think Dragon Ball Z, the English dub is exponentially better than
Mhm.
the Japanese voice actors. That's nothing against like the woman who's been playing Goku for 40 years. Like she's
Yeah.
great. Like I have no problem with those, but like I grew up with
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
the English voice actors. I think Cowboy Bebop, I think Ghost in the Shell are also like, those dubs are just so iconic and so
Mhm.
good that they, I think they just land better. I I think there's kind of this line that I like to walk, where like some of the things, I think it's mostly just like stuff that I grew up watching on
Yeah.
Toonami. I want to watch it in English. Everything else, although that's not entirely true either, because like I didn't watch K-On! On Toonami. Like I didn't come to that for like a long time. Like that was
Mhm.
probably 8 years ago that I started watching K-On! And I really like the English dub of that also. So pardon me.
It
It just kind
depends.
of depends on how good the dub is, and I think some of the more modern anime dubs, like some of them can be really really good, and some of them just like reuse the same voice actors you've heard in a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
they sound like the same characters that you've heard in a bunch of other things also, and a lot of them also voice things in video games that we play, so
Yeah.
ends up just kind of sounding the same. So but you can
Okay.
say the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing about like the Japanese voice actors too. Like there's a small pool of talent over there as well that does a lot of the dubs. I don't know. It just depends.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's fine. That's fine. Yeah. And my other question was, have you consumed anything else related to Captain Tsubasa except for the 2018 video game? I know there are a bunch of like older video games like for the Super Nintendo that are like soccer RPGs or stuff like that, like turn-based soccer. Have you tried anything of that?
I have not, mostly because I don't know how to get an emulator running, or how to download ROMs without sending viruses into my computer, or how to get
Yeah,
translation patches without getting viruses on my computer. So I just don't mess with any of that, and like
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to fuck up my brand new PC that I just spent a lot of money on.
yeah, yeah. I understand. I usually download like my ROMs if I were to download ROMs potentially. No,
No.
but yeah, I usually download them like directly on my phone, and I'm like everything's so like blocked off on phones and everything that
Right.
I know that if I download the file, it won't like starts running by itself. I will have to open it in an emulator. So I feel like usually that's what I do when I try to find games.
Yeah, like it might be worthwhile for me to try and figure that out because I do have the tablet, and I could probably get an emulator running on the tablet without a problem.
Yeah.
I would just have to like figure out how. Maybe get one of our friends who knows, or even you, somebody to show me what to do. Because like, man, I haven't downloaded things since like LimeWire was the way to go.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. Downloading stuff nowadays just feels weird. I'm like,
right.
I don't trust installing anything other than Chrome and Steam. I don't feel like safe installing anything on my computer anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Oh yeah, Captain Tsubasa.
Captain
Great
Tsubasa,
anime.
yeah, maybe it's a pretty good anime. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
okay.
great.
Great for its time, I guess.
No, I wouldn't even say great for its
No?
time.
Okay.
Because like I several months ago I talked about Hajime no Ippo, which also
Yeah.
started back in the 80s. I think that was 86 when Ippo the manga started for Ippo. And that still feels really really good.
Okay.
And was like super super fun to watch. I think Captain Tsubasa is just a little bit drawn out in some of its cases, in some of the ways that it like portrays its story, which is kind of just typical of shonen.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's quite as good as some of the other sports shonen that I've watched in the last year or so.
Okay.
Like I still like it.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna land among my favorites.
And you were saying that you're talking more about that on your new podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be talking more about Captain Tsubasa on my new podcast that I'm doing with our friend Josh Leslie. It is called The Monthly Mishap. And essentially what this podcast is it's me and Josh getting together and talking about the media, non-gaming media that we consume, because I come on here and I get to talk about an anime for 5 to 10 minutes or whatever, but like I've consumed almost 60 episodes of this anime. I could go really in depth with it if I wanted to, but we just don't have the time for that, and I'm not going to sit here and make you listen to me talk about it for 30 minutes, But if you do want to hear me talk about Captain Tsubasa for a longer period of time, you'll be able to hear me talk about it more on the next episode of the Monthly Mishap. And so the other core conceit of that podcast is essentially that me and Josh, we recommend the other watch something that we enjoy, and the other person has to watch it and then come back the next episode, and we're going to deep dive into those things.
Nice. I heard that you might have tiptoed your way into the bear because of Josh, so pretty interested to hear what you have to say about this show, because I just finished the last season and I like it a lot, so pretty excited to hear more about that.
Yeah, that'll be a fun conversation for sure. That's what Josh recommended for me to watch, and then I recommended him to watch two of my favorite like mid 2000s kung fu movies, which are Tai Chi Zero and Tai Chi Hero, which I'm sure most people have not ever heard of because they're weird kung fu movies from China.
Yeah.
From the mid 2000s that don't star anybody like, there's no big names in this movie.
No.
It's not Donnie Yen, it's not Jackie Chan, it's not, what's that guy's name that was in Ong Bak?
Jet Li? I don't know.
No,
I'm just
no,
throwing
not
names
Jet Li.
around.
Hang on.
Okay, and Astro Warrior.
What is his name? Tony Jaa.
Okay.
Tony Jaa. Yeah, he's also great. He's been in so many kung fu movies. But yeah, so
yeah, I listened to your
times.
first episode. It was super fun, super great to hear you go on about other things than YouTube or video games. And you and Josh just have like great chemistry. So I think it's gonna be a fun monthly listen for sure.
Yep.
And for your first episode, you went ahead and talked about your favorite like movies and media
Yes.
and stuff. So I thought that I could bring here my 5 favorite movies and just talk briefly about them to you. Do you have
Perfect.
in do you have any guesses or hunch about what could be my favorite movies?
No, I have no idea.
All right. So the first one is a movie that you probably don't know, and it's called Wrong. Do you have any idea what this movie is?
I do not.
It's made by Quentin Dupieux, who made Rubber, like the Killing Tire. I don't know if you've heard about that movie.
I love Rubber. That movie's
Okay.
great.
So it's basically the movie he did after Rubber, and you
Okay.
talked in your episode how you like Napoleon Dynamite, and this movie is basically another Napoleon Dynamite. The whole movie is super dry, nothing really happens. It's just freaking weird all the way through. I love that movie. It's just so weird. I could give you an example, like there's a guy painting cars and like but it's just like painting cars randomly on the street, and he's like halfway through painting the car of the main character, and the main character is like, no, stop, I don't want the new color, and then, oh, okay, and then he somehow stops, but then the main character goes on to do some stuff. When it comes back, the guy actually finished painting his car red, and then the main character cannot find his car, and it just like goes on with his day and go take the bus because it's like, okay, my car is not here anymore. And it's just fucking weird like that the whole way through. I think you would love that movie.
Nice. I'll check that out.
And yeah, before I continue, I must say that it's kind of tough naming like my favorite movies and stuff because I don't really I don't really rewatch movies. So like I will watch something, it's great, and then never see it again. So there are a bunch of movies that like, oh yeah, that was fucking great, but I like not kind of talking about it, or movies that I thought were my favorites but I have not seen in like 20 years. I'm like, how can I know if they are all still my favorite movies? But still.
Yeah, that's fair.
My number 4 is the 12 Days of Asterix. They're like they were made in France, and I know Asterix and Obelix the Goal, they're not like the most popular in the States, but they're kind of really big in Quebec, in France, and all French-speaking countries. And those movies used to play all the time during like winter. Those are like Christmas movies, even if they're not related to Christmas. They're just like the movies that were on TV during December. And the 12 Days of Asterix is just really funny. He just goes around and goof off doing 12 different tasks around Roman soil, and that movie is just a banger.
Cool.
Another
3. One I have not heard of.
Oh, that you should watch this one. It's a classic. It's really a classic.
Okay.
Number 3. I now will go in a really classic. I will go with The Lion King. I feel like I had to pick like one of my favorite Kate's movie, and The Lion King, just there's not much that I don't like about this movie. Like the animation is top notch, the songs are classic. There are so many good quotes in that movie. It's just a fun ride. It's not too long. You cannot feel you can't feel bad while watching the movie because fucking Mufasa, but other than that, like it's such a joy to watch and rewatch all the time.
Yeah. Great movie.
Absolutely. Number 2, a bit like Josh, I was a lot in the MCU until maybe the last Avengers movie. Since then, I've kind of fallen off a bit, but I'm still like going to the movies and watching all the movies in theater with my dad. But other than that, I don't really follow anything anymore about Marvel. But my favorite MCU movie is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, the second one. I just think that this movie is super tight. Like from start to finish, it's like a thriller, but Captain America is slightly stronger than your typical like guy. But other than that, it's just a very fun spy thriller. So really recommended. This movie is so good.
Okay. What's your number one?
My favorite movie of all time is the first SpongeBob movie. That movie is just a wild ride from start to finish. There's so many dumb moments. David Hasselhoff at the end is just. I quote that movie all the time with my brother and my best friend, and yeah, I'm. That's one of the few movies that I will rewatch from time to time. I just put it on and I don't know, man. That first SpongeBob movie is really hits the perfect note of absurdity for me.
I don't know if I've seen that SpongeBob movie since it first came out.
Well, I cannot recommend it enough. It's really goofy, but at the same time, there's a lot of like emotions. The
Mhm.
plot really goes forward. It's not trying to be anything else than the first SpongeBob movie. It's like just
Right.
one big episode, and from the classic writers, it just arrived at the perfect moment to be a great like SpongeBob episode, basically.
Right.
Yeah, so that would be my favorite movies of all time.
Excellent. There's a good list of top 5. I like it. I like it a lot.
Thanks. Yeah, I try to bring a bit of variety, not just bring like superhero movies and stuff, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, and if you want to hear my top 5, you can listen to the first episode of the Monthly Mishap because we talked about our top 5s. It may have
Yeah.
been more than an actual top 5, but
But still. Awesome. I will let you start the intro read then.
Oh
Because
shit, I gotta get it pulled up. Where'd it go?
yeah, that's not my cue. It's yours.
It is not your cue. But this is not the movie podcast. This is the Trash Station podcast, your gaming podcast all about weird, unknown, and forgotten video games. I am your host, Chris, here with my co-host, Max. How are you doing, Max?
I'm doing more than fine, thanks, Chris. And you know, in our friend circle, we're known to play mostly trashy games. We're talking anime games, retro games you've never heard of, the NGS stuff on itch.io, and everything in between.
And as usual, we'll add those games to our tier list we call the Landfill, chat about our creative hobbies, and shout out some of our favorite content creators on the internet. And Max, I've got
Yeah.
a few more games here than you do
Oh
today.
yeah. And I bet you have a bit more to say too, because I don't have a lot. I'm
Prob
bringing scraps. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell. No.
Yeah, we talked a little bit before we started recording, and you've been kind of busy, haven't had a whole lot of time for games. It happens to all of us.
I will have more to say during the hobby time. So
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely it's just one of those things where it happens to happen from time to time. It's summertime. Like we can't be
yeah.
cooped up inside all day every day playing video
Mhm.
games. So I remember back in like the mid 2010s, early 2010s, somewhere maybe like 2013, 2014. I was I was really big on this like phone gotcha game, and I was in a guild. I was running a guild. I was running like the third largest guild in the world on this game.
Mhm.
And it got around to summertime, and I was going fishing a lot at that point in time. And some of my guildmates were like, "You're not playing as much, like you're fucking losing rank and blah blah blah." And I'm like, dog, I'm going out fishing. Like I'm spending time in life. Like I'm not sitting on my phone all day. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. It's for like 2 months during the fishing season when I can easily catch catfish. Like let me go catch catfish and have fun doing that
It,
instead of playing this damn game all the time.
it's just a gacha game.
Yeah.
But next
Yeah.
episode, we will have meet in person,
Yes.
and I should have some time to play on the plane and with you and other people. So we should have a lot to say next episode.
Yeah, so I've got a bunch of games that I've downloaded onto my Vita because I'm just bringing my Vita with me for the flight. I've got like a 5 hour plane flight with like, well, it's not it's 5 hour total travel time with like
Mhm.
there's no direct flights from Kansas City to Pittsburgh. Can you fucking believe that?
Yeah,
Like
it's super freaking weird.
I either need to go west to Colorado and then over to Pittsburgh, which is east of me, or
Hmm.
I need to go past Pittsburgh, farther east, and then come back west to Pittsburgh. Like, why is there not a direct flight? It's so fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, like don't get me started with like flight companies and everything. I hate those.
Also, I miss the days. Like I know people shit on Spirit Airlines for being
Yeah,
like the cheap airline where like they tacked on all the extra bullshit as extra fees, but like I never cared about all that extra shit because whenever I would travel with like a backpack and
yeah,
2 days worth of clothes and that's it. I don't need overhead storage. I don't need food on the flight. I don't need drinks on the flight. Like I don't need any of that extra bullshit. I'm gonna either sleep or play a video game for a few hours while I fly somewhere. Why
yeah,
can't I get $100 flight anymore?
yeah.
It's stupid. It sucks.
Oh yeah,
Sucks.
like intercity, interstate travel is just it's the worst in America. Like
Yeah.
they have it figured out. Like in Europe, like throughout Japan and all those countries, they have like speed trains, they have cheap
Right.
flights, but in America, you either have to use your car or pay $1,000 to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So speaking of trains, like I wish we had bullet trains or some
Yeah.
kind of faster travel via train. I would use that. So there was one time I was looking into taking the train out to California,
Mhm.
and on the Amtrak, it was going to take 36 hours to get to California for
And
the
you only
same
stay,
cost as a
yeah,
flight.
the same it's the same cost. It makes no fucking sense.
It's
Yeah.
like, why? It's
I don't know.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. They're talking about making a bullet train from like Quebec City to Toronto. So
Yeah.
if that ever happens, that would be freaking amazing because right now going to Toronto takes like 9 hours by
Hmm.
car or $500 to take a flight. So it's dumb. Like I
Right.
cannot go. I can either drive to Montreal in a couple hours or I cannot go in any other big city. It's always like big expenses to go anywhere.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we're
it
not
sucks.
the flying podcast. So what have you been playing?
Well, I finished Dark Souls.
Oh, let's go. I heard that
Um,
you might have found the last boss very easy.
yeah, so it turns out pyromancies are really broken in Dark Souls.
Hmm.
And if you have your pyromancy glove maxed out and you go in there and you have 8 great combustions, that will just kill the boss.
Yeah, I played Pyromancy too, but I think I never really found how to upgrade everything optimally. Like, I don't know. I didn't have that firepower.
Okay. Yeah, because I had always heard I had never fought Gwyn before. Like I said
Mhm.
last time, I had played Dark Souls before and I'd gotten stuck and I never completed the game. And I think the last time I was playing the game, I was playing a pyromancer, but I don't think I ever figured out how to upgrade my pyromancy glove because
Mhm.
pyromancies don't scale off any of your stats like all of your normal weapons do. Instead,
Yeah.
you the only scaling that they have, well, not scaling because it's not scaling, is you can upgrade the glove itself to make your pyromancies do more damage. And in order to do that, you have to find a couple of vendors and level it up along with like the Titanite shards and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
The leveling up system in Dark Souls for weapons is it's stupid. Look up a guide. There are plenty of very good guides that tell you exactly how to level up everything in Dark Souls. And
Mhm.
I had like 10 tabs open
Nice.
constantly while I was playing because I was constantly referencing things. But yeah, like I had seen so many people, struggle with the fight against Gwyn and I had heard so much about like how he's kind of a pain in the ass, and I was like, yeah, well, I was expecting it to be a challenge, and and then I went in there and he does that first like lunging attack at you, and
Mhm.
I sidestepped out of the way and I did great combustion on him, which is a really really fast pyromancy, and it was like 800 damage, and I was like, oh, this is just gonna be a piece of cake, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I went in there with like a whole bunch of spells, on my attunement slots, and I was like, I don't even need all of these. Like I need this one spell that has 8 casts, and then he's
Yeah.
dead. I think I missed one of them also. And
Wow.
yeah, so if you find Dark Souls hard, play a Pyromancer because and figure out how to upgrade the glove because it'll make your pyromancies do an insane amount of damage, and there's only two bosses that can't be damaged by fire.
Mhm.
And for those two bosses you actually have to learn how to like fight them, but neither of them are really quite neither of them are hard. Like it's Centipede Demon that is immune to fire damage altogether, and
Mhm.
Quaylag, and that's it.
Yeah.
And Quaylag kind of sucks. She's a little bit of a roadblock boss because it takes a little bit of understanding of like getting to understand that like when she's using her sword, get the fuck away from her. When she's trying to spew lava, that's when you go to her side and start hacking at her. But
Mhm.
once you understand that pattern, she's a piece of piss. She's really not that bad
Yeah.
of a boss. But yeah, Dark Souls, good video game. It stays in the highest tier that we have
S
as a
tier, absolute
S
banger.
tier,
Dark
absolute
Souls.
banger.
Awesome. Love to hear it. And congrats on finally getting through Dark Souls.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to finally have that one under my belt. I might try and do Dark Souls 2 maybe sometime later this year or maybe sometime early next year. I don't know.
Mhm.
I think if I'm gonna do Dark Souls 2 though, I'm not gonna play it on PS3. Even though I own it on PS3, I think I'll buy like Scholar of the First Sin on PC and get some people to help me with that one just so I don't have to go through it alone. Like
Mhm.
eh, I
I
know
have
I could if I wanted
I
to.
have
I
I have
don't
it
really
on
want to.
PC too. So
You have it on PC also?
yeah, I still have to play it. So
Okay, maybe we can run through it together. Maybe we'll
yeah,
find some time for that.
let's find out.
All right. Another game that I wanted to talk about that I've talked about on the show before is Muse Dash. So Steam sale just happened, and the DLC for Muse Dash went on sale. It's normally $35. It was on sale for 20. I was like, that's a good enough price for me. I'm fine with
Oh,
that. So I downloaded the DLC, and that's like over 500 new songs for that game. It's like even for the $35, that's an insane value proposition. Like I'm gonna be playing this for another probably 30 to 40 hours getting through every song, and that's only if I play them once and
yeah.
not like try and score a chase, not try and complete all the achievements on the songs, not try and like get, S ranks or full clears on each of the three difficulties on each of the songs, which is
Mhm.
why I have so many hours in that game already because I was doing that on the base game.
Yeah.
Um, so right now, all I'm doing is I'm going through the songs and I'm playing each of them once. And the way that Muse Dash works with its difficulty is that it has easy and medium or easy and hard already unlocked, like base.
Mhm.
And then if you get an S rank on hard, it unlocks the expert difficulty.
Okay.
But if you get enough S ranks on a certain difficulty number, so like I just got enough S ranks on difficulty 6 to where if an expert song is at difficulty rank 6, it's automatically unlocked for me now,
Oh, cool. That's
which
smart.
is yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. It means that I don't have to play like a difficulty 3 song. Sometimes it'll be like the difficulty ratings will be like 1, 3, and then 6 between easy, hard, and expert.
Mhm.
It means I don't have to play that 3 and be kind of bored playing a really slow song,
Mhm.
and I could
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go
yeah.
straight to the expert and play the faster paced kind of harder song. I'm still really struggling with like the sevens and eights in that game
Yeah.
because there seems to be a big gap between the difficulty of a level 6 song and the difficulty of a level 7 song. And
Mhm.
some of them I can do pretty well, but some of them still are a little insane for me. So, but yeah, still having a good time with Muse Dash. Yeah, it stays as a absolute banger. I'm pretty sure that's where I put it at last time, and it
Nice.
it's just a fun rhythm game, and
Cool.
uh, yeah, it's a good time. I'm having fun.
Nice. Well, on my end, for the little I've been playing, I've not been playing absolute bangers. That I can say. The first game I'm gonna bring is called Bolf. It's a mashup of golf and boxing.
Okay.
It seems there are two Bolf games that exist somehow. There's both the golf boxing game and both the bowling golf game. But
Okay.
I played the boxing, the golf boxing one. So I played this on itch.io online on the browser, and the way that it works, it's pixelated. It looks like an old NES game, and you have a fighting golf ball on the right, and you have to either punch straight, punch on the left, or punch on the right. And every punch that you do will move the trajectory of your shot on the golf screen. So if the hole is on the top right, then you have to punch forward and punch left to move the ball to the right and up.
Okay.
And the golf ball will actually like block your attacks from, like, it will randomly cycle through front, left, or right. So you have to try to get its to move forward when it's blocking on the sides, and it on the side to change the trajectory of the ball when it's blocking forward, basically. And you have a limited time, like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, to align your shot. There's also wind, so you have to account for that. And when you're ready, you have to punch the ball to send it flying. And if you don't attack the ball at the end, you don't send an uppercut, then you will just lose the round. And the way that the pointing system works is that your your points is the number of meters that you are away from the hole. So if you land 10 meters away from the hole, you have -10, basically.
Okay.
And you have to just get the closest to the hole on every hole, and then you get a score. I don't know where I put my screenshot, but I did like do a 9-hole round, and I ended up with like a super heavyweight championship, or I don't know. It was a game jam game, so it's just that you just do the same
Right.
thing over and over. There are no power-ups. You just do 9 rounds of random holes with random patterns and wind, and you try to do your best. Any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
So, Bolf, a golf boxing game, would go in This Is Fine. The
Yeah,
B
it sounds
team.
like it.
It's a fun distraction. It's something that like you can do around for fun. It won't like grab your attention for hours and hours. I think it can be fun to grind a better score for
Mhm.
like maybe 30 minutes or something. But yeah, it's it's a proof of concept. I could see
Right.
this going much farther with like a more advanced like fighting system, a bit more like Punch Out and
Mhm.
more strategy and power ups and stuff like that. I think there's potential in the concept, but for now it's just a fun toy.
Okay. So I want to say I'm looking at this Bolf that's on Steam, the bowling golf
Yeah.
game, and it is exactly what you think it would be. It's you hit a bowling ball down the fairway, and then when you get to the green, you have to play bowling and not go for the pins instead of putting your ball into the hole. It's $3. I'm going to buy this and I'm going to play it because it looks stupid.
It looks stupid and so bad. I love
It
it.
it does
Wow.
look very bad, and I want to play it.
It somehow hit early access in 2019 but released in 2025. Wow. Incredible.
Like I imagine that this is like a solo dev project,
Yeah.
and the only reason that it's releasing so late after being in early access is because it's only one person working on it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Steam Early Access 2019.
Incredible. What a find.
Perfect. It's a perfect game.
Yep, absolutely. According to my analysis extension, the dude made $123.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Well, we can bump that up to like 127.
For sure. Incredible.
All right. Let me talk about Thunder Ray for a minute. We talked about this game a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
last time. This is
I wanted to try it out, but I didn't get the time.
no, that's fine. So we found out about this game kind of at the same time. This is a Punch-Out clone made by the same people that are making the Baki the Grappler Punch-Out clone that I'm excited about.
Hmm.
And I will say I'm a little less excited about that after playing Thunder Ray.
Oh no.
Not because I think the game is going to be bad, but because I think this game is just too fucking hard for me.
That's
Uh,
what I've seen in the comments and at the
yeah.
bottom of the page.
I was playing this on the easiest difficulty. I got to the fourth boxing fight and I could not beat this guy.
Oh my god.
The moves just come out so fast, and so like there's almost no reaction time. And I think on top of that, some of the moves look really similar.
Hmm.
So it can be hard to see the exact tells of like whether this is a move that you need to like dodge to the right or dodge to the left or block, because there'll be two different attacks that have a similar tell, but one of them will require you to dodge to the right and the other one will require you to block.
Hmm.
So you'll do one and then be hit by the other, and then you're just getting fucked on because of that. Um, so I don't think this game is bad, but I am not a fan personally.
Hmm. And I don't know how familiar you are with like Punch Out, but does it play closer to the original Punch Out or to Super Punch Out?
I honestly have no idea because I've only
Okay.
ever seen those games played. I've never actually put hands on either of them.
Okay, so basically, do you have to like counter specific moves to win, or can
No.
you just like learn the patterns and knock them down?
Okay, so you have your so I was playing with controller because I was not going to try and play this with mouse and keyboard. That seems like absolute insanity. The four face buttons
Hmm.
are four different attacks. So and there'll be like high attack right and left and mid attack right and left. Those are your four face buttons. And then your triggers up top are your four different types of dodges. So it's dodge right, dodge left, and then block or duck.
Okay.
And as you progress through a fight, if you're dodging and hitting properly, you'll be building special meter to be able to do a special attack that can do big damage. So essentially what you're trying to do is whittle your opponent's health down while not getting your health whittled down.
It's
Um
not. It sounds closer to a Super Punch Out.
yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Um
You don't know, but I'm just
no, I don't know for sure. Like I
that's what
said,
I.
I've seen both of those games played, and I thought they both played exactly the same. I didn't know that there was actually a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like only like Super Punch Out that's kind of different in the series. All the other
Okay.
all the other games are about like dodging specific moves to get stars, and then you use those stars to do big damage. But you
Okay. Yeah.
cannot
This is not
you
like
cannot
that.
okay you because in those like those classic Punch Out you cannot really win without using those star punches.
Okay.
Unlike Super Punch Out, where you can kind of grind your way through a win by just dodging and filling up your meter.
Okay. So yeah, then this is definitely much more Super Punch Out than
Okay.
Classic Punch Out. But but yeah, so you could be sitting there and just throwing attacks, and then they'll throw out a move. They'll have their tell, and if you get hit by it, you're gonna take damage. If you dodge it, you're good. Yeah, it's just really hard. And like maybe I would be better at this had I played Punch Out or Super Punch Out in the past, but I haven't. So yeah, I don't know. Like it was, I think it's fun, but I don't really have much to say about it. You know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
just because like
yeah,
I don't feel like I got far enough to really say anything, and I already run into a brick wall with it. So
yeah.
I'm gonna
And
say that this game is fine. It's gonna go
it's
right solidly into that B tier of this is it's fine.
especially for the price that we paid on
Yeah.
sale. But yeah, it's I guess it's better knowing that this game is really, really hard going in.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully they have learned about that and made their new game that they will release a bit more approachable. Hopefully,
Honestly, from the demo that I played, I kind of doubt it because I wasn't able to beat the
yeah,
second person in that demo.
yeah,
So
true.
and
It,
Baki is about like the biggest muscle men in the world competing in fighting tournaments.
yeah,
So I imagine it's going to be difficult because those are not supposed to be people that are easily beaten. You know, they're insane characters.
yeah. I see, I see. Oh well, I will let you know how I end up liking this one when I finally get to play it. I
Yeah.
did beat Super Punch Out a couple of times, so
Okay.
maybe I'm a good fit to actually winning this one. But I would say that my usual Super Punch Out strategy is throwing myself against the wall and getting a lucky win. So I'm not
Right.
sure. I'm not sure this precision dodging thing is gonna be my jam.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it will be. I don't.
Yeah,
It. This game is for somebody. I
yeah.
don't think I'm going to beat it.
I find it pretty interesting that it's mostly positive and very positive recently on Steam. I guess
Mhm.
like people like the way it looks, and I guess now the people buying it can see from the comments that it's really hard. So
Right.
it reflects the right kind of people. So who knows?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. What do you got for us?
Yes, I will get very negative because now I will talk about Skies of Chaos. So yesterday I was like, okay, I have like one game to bring to the show. I need to do something. So I downloaded Skies of Chaos on my phone and played that. I say yesterday, but like in the last couple of days. And
Mhm.
I played that for a bit. It's a game included with the Netflix app. So with Netflix,
Right.
you can download free games. So I downloaded this one on my phone, and basically it's a shmup. It's a vertically scrolling shmup. You're you have a ship with two different upgrades on the left and the right, and you do you dodge bullets and do shmup things. Like
Yeah.
it's really simple. I will start with some positives. The game
Sure.
looks really good. It has a great colorful art style. It's all in pixel art. That nothing to say. It looks well. Nothing to say. I think that it's maybe everything is a bit too samey, saturated. So like bullets are hard to see on the screen when you're playing, especially with your big thumb controlling the ship on your
Right.
phone. So that's not the best, but at the same time, yeah, that's part of the shmup experience, like having a lot of shit on the screen. So whatever. Music is also pretty fine, a bit forgettable, but it's good. And there are also animated cutscenes that look pretty good. And I guess the controls are responsive. That's all my positives because I pretty much hate everything else about this game. So, every level starts with like 20 seconds of waiting. It's insane. You get into the level, there's the title of the level that pops up, the level that disappears. Then you have characters talking about the story stuff. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't know what they're talking about. They just pop on the screen, and then I'm spamming that. And then your ship continues to move on the screen, and then you see the bad guys popping up and then talking shit about, I don't know, oh, you need to attack the ship. I know you need to attack me. It's a fucking shmup game. Just get into the level.
Right.
So that's infuriating. Every level is like that. And I went through the first world being the most bored I've been playing a shmup game. It's like the easiest shmup game I've ever played. And every level has 3 difficulty: easy, medium, and hard, but you can only play the easiest difficulty first, and once you've gone through that easy difficulty, by completing the missions that are like finishing the level with at least 25% of your health, killing at least 25% of the enemies, and I guess just completing the level. If you do all those 3 things, then you get a star, and then you can go to the medium difficulty. But honestly, I don't know if it's just the missions that are more difficult, because I have not seen anything really different between easy and medium and hard. It just feels like the same level, but the missions to get the stars are like more difficult. So I don't really know. And once I finished the first world, which was like 10 levels. I got into the second world, and then suddenly it was like the most difficult game I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
And not difficult because there's so much stuff on the screen. It's difficult because from level 11 onwards, my weapons don't kill anything anymore. Like, I will shoot the same ships from the first world with like 30 bullets. I will just stay on the line, shooting it all the way through during the scrolling, and the ship won't get destroyed. It becomes like impossible from level 11 onwards for no reason. Like, the scaling is completely out of whack, and it's absolutely out of my control. What the game wants you to do is to go back to like the first level, and then grind the medium difficulty mission, and then grind the hard difficulty mission, and do like the same levels 3 times to get enough experience to upgrade everything, because you have to upgrade every part of your ship. So you can get new part of your ship, new weapons, but they don't start the best. You need to complete the levels to pick up a bunch of random shit to then upgrade those weapons, and then you get stronger, and then you can beat those levels. I don't know if this game existed before Netflix, and there's like a version of this game where you can buy upgrades and stuff, but it feels like this game was made with like a pay to win mechanism.
Right.
It hooks you with like great visuals and easy first world, and then you have to pay to get the upgrades and get through the game. So I managed to beat the second boss. I got through like level 20 just to see where it was going, and then there were still more levels, so I went online, and I think on the phone version there are 55 levels. I will not be beating this game. Honestly, there is like nothing in the like game structure and the game feel. There's nothing that I like. I'm always like, it's either too easy or too hard, or I'm bored, or I'm just waiting for the levels to get on, because like I was playing the last boss over and over before the podcast, so I could just have some meat to talk about, and like every try I lost maybe 2 minutes into the level, and then I have to start back and wait another 20 seconds before I can actually get another chance at actually beating the boss. And that boss was so stupid because like I could you couldn't get hit like a lot with bullets, but they are like sandworms jumping up from the ground, and those sandworms, if you're in the wrong spot at the wrong time, 2 hits and you're down. And I'm like,
Oh,
like I I can either take 100 hits from bullets from the boss or 2 hits from the sandworm. It's so not balanced. Oh yeah. So any questions before I put it on the tier list?
no, this sounds kind of shit.
Yeah, I maybe I'm feeling harsh today because I had so little time to play games and I played this one and didn't really like it. But Skies of Chaos will go back in the trash. Like I I didn't have any fun. Like
Right.
I had a little bit of fun. Just a little bit because like moving a ship around and destroying ships. Like that's kind of fun. And
Yeah.
there's one upgrade that I thought was pretty cool to use, and those were the crab claws that you need to get close to an enemy and then your claws will extend forward and start like clamping on that enemy. So you have to play a more like aggressive type of shmup. And then
Mhm.
when your claw comes back, it has to reset for a couple seconds and then you can reuse it to attack another enemy. So I thought that mechanic was kind of interesting. But
Right.
it would be more interesting in another game. Yeah.
All right. Skies of Chaos, a game that I'm never going to hear about again because nobody else is ever going to play this game.
Basically, I'm the first one in our Discord and probably the last one.
All right. I want to talk about a game called Arcade Paradise.
Oh, I think it's been on my wish list for like forever.
Okay, so this is a simulation game.
Yeah.
And I like these kind of simulation games where it wants you to do, kind of menial tasks and do those tasks day in and day out, over the course of your in-game days to be able to earn money, to be able to buy new things, to be able to continue on playing the game. And that's what
Yeah.
this is at its core. But what this game starts out as is your character, you're playing as this girl, Ashley, and she drops out of college and her dad's like, "Oh, you can take over and run one of my businesses. It's this little like laundromat.
Okay.
And just run the laundromat for me and that way you have a job." But he's kind of a condescending asshole about it. And so you start running the laundromat and you never hear your character speak. All of your you'll talk to other characters via like email messages on a computer inside the laundromat.
Hmm.
And then you'll get phone calls from your dad periodically throughout the game as the story progresses. But so as you start the game, you go into the laundromat, and first thing that you have to do is you have to clean up. So there's a bunch of trash all over the place. Clean up all the trash. Your trash bag gets full. You can't pick up all the trash in a single trash bag, so you have to take the trash bag out to the dumpster, throw it into the dumpster. There's a little mini game where like you have to just there's a meter, kind of like in a golf game where there's a meter just going up and down. You have to hit it at the right spot, throw it into the dumpster at the right spot. Depending on how you do, depends on how much money you make for throwing the trash into the dumpster. And then you go back in, you pick up the rest of the trash, you do that again. And then you have to load washing machines. So there will be a table where there are baskets of laundry that people have dropped off. And you have to load it into a washing machine and then run that washing machine that runs for 3 minutes. And then when that's done, you need to take it out of the washing machine, put it into a dryer. When the dryer is done, take the laundry out of the dryer, put it on a different table, and how fast you do that, it gives you a rank. And depending on your rank for how fast you do the laundry, depends on how much money you get for that particular load of laundry. So if you're like right on top of it and getting that laundry out of the washer as soon as it's done and out of the dryer as soon as it's done, you're gonna get an S rank. You're gonna get $30 for that load of laundry. If you're slow about it and you take an extra 15 seconds before you take it out, you're gonna get an A rank. And you're only gonna get $20 for that load of laundry. And then it'll scale down from there. I think the lowest you can get is like a C rank, and you'll get like $10.
Okay.
And then like there'll be pieces of gum stuck to places in the in the laundromat, and you have to pull the gum off, and it'll be like, oh, it'll sound like it's a fighting game, and it'll have epic music, and it'll be like fight, and then you're having to do the same kind of golf thing where there's a meter and it's going up and down. You have to hit it in the right spot to be able to pull the gum off. You do that a couple of times, and you get money for pulling the gum off, and all these different tasks that you have to do earn you a little bit of extra money, and then you can spend that money buying arcade machines to put in
nice
in this laundromat. The story is that your dad does not want you to be putting arcade machines into this laundromat. He has the couple of arcade machines that are there already, and he thinks that they're a waste of time. He thinks video games are a waste of time. And your character's like, but I've done all this math. Like, look, if we have a couple more machines in here, the machines will start making more money than the laundromat does. And your dad's like, you don't know anything about business. You college, fuck you. So you do it anyway. And so you have to earn enough money. You buy machines, and you start putting the machines in, and then you can play all of these arcade machines also. And they're all of the arcade games, for the most part, are like kind of plays on other classic arcade games. Like you eventually get a beat 'em up. It's a really simple beat 'em up with only one attack button and a jump button.
Mm-hmm.
There's a game that's kind of like Pac-Man. There's a game that's basically just Pong, but it's called like Shuttlecocks instead of Pong because they can't use like official names. The Pac-Man game is kind of instead of being Pac-Man, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, like the old Grand Theft Auto games where it was top down, like the PS1 game, except you're on a grid and you're picking up money instead of dots, and you're a car and you're being chased by cops. And so like that's fun. There's a game that's kind of like Asteroids. There's a game that's kind of like Breakout. There's a game that's like Missile Command. So there's all these different types of arcade games. You eventually get to a point where you have like, I don't know, 30, 40 arcade machines in this place. Wow. But that's 20 hours into the game. We're not there yet. Right? Okay. We have one arcade machine right now.
Yeah.
Well, I have like 25 hours on this game in the past 2 weeks. So
wow. So cool. What's your favorite arcade machine so far?
So I think my favorite there's this game that's called Graffiti Balls that you get, and essentially what it is it's like, so you have a thing down at the bottom that you shoot these balls out of, and it looks like a spray paint can, but that doesn't matter. So you shoot out a ball, and you shoot out a black ball. If you shoot two black balls into one another, I hit my microphone, my bad. If you shoot two black balls into one another, they'll combine and make a red ball. And then if you combine two more black balls into one another, they'll combine and make a red ball. And then if you're able to ricochet one of your black balls, because you're always shooting a black ball out of your paint can, if you shoot and ricochet those two red balls together, they'll combine together and make a yellow ball. And then so you have to do that over and over and over again, and eventually as you combine those types of balls together, they'll be worth more and more and more points. It's just a score chase game, but it's quite actually addicting, and I was having a lot of fun with that. The beat 'em up was pretty good. The version of Missile Command was pretty good. There's this kind of RPG type game where like you're running around this overworld and you have to fight monsters, but how you fight the monsters is basically by playing Bejeweled, and you have to do enough of the match 3 Bejeweled to like fill up a meter to defeat the monster. So that was pretty fun. See, there's a racing game that's pretty fun, except it's not really racer. It's more like, what's the way to describe it? It's like one of those games where you're just trying to get from checkpoint to checkpoint instead of like racing against others. Okay, and it kind of looks like
a bit like Burnout, right?
No, not quite like Burnout, because Burnout's actually a racing game.
Okay.
God, what the hell? I don't know. It's all pixelated. It looks like one of those old like 16-bit racing games, like maybe Road Rash or something like that.
Yeah, like Top Gear.
Yeah, Top Gear. There's a perfect example, like Top Gear.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so So you're trying to make money to buy these arcade machines, and I think the progression in the early game is a little bit slow. Like you're only making like a couple $100 a day, maybe, and that's if you're like staying on top of your tasks and actually doing the laundry like you quote should be doing, and cleaning up the laundromat like you should be doing. Because that's how you earn money anyway. But each of the arcade machines will be like, at least at the beginning, it'll be like it's like $1,000 for the next machine. It's $1,500. It's $2,000 for the next machine. So you have to progress through like 5 days worth of work in order to buy the next machine. And then, so, but they try and entice you to play the arcade machines also, because by playing the machines, there's certain goals. You have like a little Palm Pilot type thing, and it's basically your pause menu. But you'll have goals for each of the arcade machines, and if you complete those goals, it makes the arcade machine more profitable. It essentially says that like it's like it's attracting more customers. Is essentially what it comes down to.
Okay.
So like you'll be able to increase the difficulty of the machine and then increase the price of how much it costs to play a single run of the game, and it'll give you like a price breakdown of how much you can either set the machine to like easy, medium, hard, and then like 50 cents, $1.50, and those are your three options. So like it's pretty limited on how much you can charge, but and then you'll get a price breakdown of it'll be like it'll make $8 an hour if you have it set at easy for 50 cents, but it'll make $12 an hour if you have it set for easy but for $1, but it'll make $13 an hour if you have it set for medium for $1, but it'll only make $1 an hour if you have it set for hard for $1. So it'll have this price breakdown, and the more of these goals you complete on each individual machine, the higher the difficulty you're able to set it, and the higher the price you're able to set it to be able to essentially force people to lose at the game more because it's more popular, to be able to make more money on the machine because people are going to be feeding more quarters into it.
Nice.
That's kind of like the general breakdown. And then like because it's one of these simulation games, you actually have to go and like take the money out of the machine itself, and then you have to bring it to your office, and you start with a safe that has like an actual dial on it, and you have to every time you want to put money into that safe, you have to crank the dial, but you have to have the money in the safe to be able to buy machines off of your computer. You can't just have it in your like wallet in your inventory. You have to deposit it essentially. So it's kind of that same thing where I was talking about with Thief Simulator, where like you get into the car and then you have to start the car to be able to actually start driving, and then you have to select the wheel to be able to actually start driving. It's that kind of simulator thing where games like this do that, and like that tedium is fine. I don't mind it. I kind of enjoy it. But yeah, so as you play through, you start earning more money per day. You start getting more machines. As you get more arcade machines, you start making more money every day. And essentially what it breaks down to is a series of chapters where it's like you have to buy all of the arcade machines that are currently available. Once you've bought them all, that'll be like a set of 5 machines that you have to buy. Once you've bought all 5 of those machines, your sister will get in contact with you and be like, hey, you can put this expansion into we can knock down this wall, and that's going to cost you $3,000. So now you have to save up $3,000 to knock down this wall and be able to have more space for your arcade. And then once you do that, you have 5 more machines that are available, and you have to buy those new machines.
Nice.
And then you go through that process doing the same thing. You're still doing laundry. You're still playing the arcades. And yeah, I mean, that's the basic loop of this game. And you just do that over and over and over again. I think so. I have a couple of issues with this game. Also, I think the progression is a little bit too slow, especially at the start. It takes a long time to be able to get to the point where you're actually buying new machines. And it also, in the early game, it's really hard to have time to be able to actually play the arcade machines, because if you're wanting to optimize your money making, you have to not play the video games. because you have to be doing the laundry because that's going to be your primary moneymaker early in the game.
Hmm.
You'll have a machine that's making you, $60 a day, but you're making $130 doing laundry, and then you're also spending 2 hours cleaning, and that's making you an additional $100.
Yeah.
So it's more profitable for you to spend the time doing the cleaning than it is to be playing the arcade machine. But the game is really wanting you to be playing that arcade machine and trying to incentivize you to play these arcade machines. And maybe that's supposed to be like, I don't know, some meta commentary about how like you can't play unless you're doing your work. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's just a way to make that grind worth it. Like
Right.
they're like, oh yeah, once I'm done with those busy chores, I will have more machine, and then I'll have more time to play the game. And when you
Right.
have time to play the games, then it feels good because you spent those like
Yeah.
4 hours doing chores, and you couldn't like jump straight to the like
Right.
mini
Yeah.
games already. So maybe.
So my second issue is that you have a secondary currency. So you have your normal money that you're making, all of your games and everything. But then you have daily tasks that
Okay.
are assigned to you for each of your in-game days. And those can be anything from get 3 S ranks on loads of laundry, or play some of them will be like play this particular game for 5 in-game minutes, which is like 5 in-game hours. And it's like, well, I don't have time to play that for 5 in-game hours because I have to spend all my time doing these other tasks,
Hmm.
especially in the early game. But you need that secondary currency to be able to buy particular upgrades that aren't they're necessary upgrades, but they're things like a safe that you don't have to turn the dial on every time you want money into it. Like that's
Hmm.
something that you're going to want to spend money on.
Yeah.
But you earn that secondary currency so slow because each of those tasks only gives you like 10 to 20 pounds instead of dollars. They have them as pounds, like
Hmm.
the British money. And but each of there's a couple of the upgrades will cost like 70 pounds, but most of them are like 100, 200, 400. And it's like to make 400, I would have to do all three of those daily tasks every day for like 20 in-game days or something like that, 10 like 15
Yeah.
in-game days. Like it's just tedious at that point. And
Yeah.
some of them are not easy. Like they'll be like get a certain score on this particular machine. Well, if you're not good at that game and you're not able to get like one of them was like you have to get a score of 100 on this one particular game, and I kept trying and I couldn't get past like 60. And I was like, well, I'm never gonna get that daily task. So that's a little bit of an issue. And then I kind of wish there was a little bit more management sim to this game. Because
Hmm.
at about like the halfway point through the game, around like the 8 to 10 hour mark, I got to the point where like I didn't have to do laundry at all anymore. Like that was that $100 a day that I was making, or $150 a day that I was making doing laundry and not spending time doing other things. It was basically worthless because I was having to spend my time emptying out the coin machines for on all of my arcade machines, because that was just making me exponentially more money, like $500 a day or $700 a day rather than, and that extra 100 just wasn't really worth my time, me spending that time doing that. But what I
Hmm.
wish was that like there was a little bit more management to it. Like I would have liked if that they have some like vending machines modeled in the game, but they're just props. It would have been nice
Yeah.
if I could like if I had to stock the vending machines and make money off of that also, like give me
Yeah.
an additional source of revenue. Like now I have to manage inventory also and buy stock and put it into the machine and make sure that what I'm buying is selling and maybe not going out of date. Maybe we don't worry about out of date because maybe that's going a little too deep into sim management. Then maybe they don't want to go quite that far, but it would have been nice to have an additional task like that that would have allowed me to make extra money. And then like with the cleaning, every day when you come in first thing in the morning, because you have to go to sleep at night. Otherwise, actually, I don't know what happens if you don't go to sleep at night. But you have to go to sleep every night, and then when you come in the next morning, your entire place is trashed again, and there's trash all over the place. I would have liked it if trash kind of built up randomly throughout the day, so that when I had like those 10 seconds in between doing tasks, if I saw like a piece of trash sitting on the floor, I could go and grab that really quick. It would have been nice to have that kind of thing instead of just, oh, you come in the morning after it's been totally clean and nobody's there because the store's closed. Now all of a sudden it's trashed again. Kind of breaks the fiction.
Yeah.
And other management sims that I've played or other simulation games that I've played have done things like that which you have to maintain cleanliness throughout the place throughout the day. But yeah, I think those are all my major criticisms. Overall, like I had a good time with this. It's fun. Once you get to the point where we're actually able to play the arcade machines and play all those games, it's a pretty good time. If you don't like tedious management sims, you're not going to like this game.
Yeah.
So, any questions before I put it on the tier list? I know I've been going on about this game for a little while.
Yeah, so. I think you've been more than thorough. It sounds like an interesting game, sure.
I think it's a great game. I think it goes solidly into the A tier for me.
Cool.
Not gonna I don't think it's one of my favorite games that I've played all year, but I really enjoyed it. And I beat it. So
oh, wow, cool.
So it was worth me spending the time on it.
Nice.
All right, I'm done talking for right now. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. I'm gonna. You only have one game left, so I can tackle both of my games because they are both small. So I was on the Drunk Friend podcast last week, and during that podcast, we talked about Flash games, and Alex mentioned that he used to play Gorillaz Tiles as a Flash game, like during work and stuff. So I decided to go ahead and try it out. And what Gorillaz Tiles is basically just a kind of visual kind of game, but not visual, like those games where if you click a color, it will destroy all of the matching colors, and then it's a grid, and then the grid everything will fall and like stick together onto the left, and then you have to click the next color, and the goal is to strategically remove everything from the screen by clicking the colors in the right order. So logically, you start from like the top right, and then you go your way to the left, and then you go down, and you go from right to left, because when you destroy something at the bottom, then it makes everything at the top everything at the top moves. So you have to destroy everything that's already connected, and then you create those chain reactions afterwards, and you try to destroy the screen. In Gorillaz Tiles, I'm not familiar enough with the Gorillaz. Like, I've listened a bit of Gorillaz thing, but every tile I think represents something from the group. I cannot say what they are. It just seemed like random guns and stuff to me, but who knows? Who knows what they're supposed to be? And the more combos you do, some of them are the characters, other stuff are guns, so they're just like random icons from like the lore of the Gorillaz.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So the more combo you do, you get like a meter that fills up, and with that meter you get bombs. So when you're stuck and you have no other moves, you can use one of those bombs to destroy a tile, and that tile, if you destroy the right tile, will create more matches that you can destroy to actually manage to clear the level. And you will get like maybe 15 bombs throughout the level. So at the end of the level, you will have like 5 or 6 random tiles left in the level, and you can destroy them and then go to the next one. There's 3 levels to beat, and in every level they add one color, one icon of tiles, so it gets a bit more difficult because there are more colors, so less match possible for the same size of grid. And once you've this, and the bombs carry on from level to level. So if I finish first level with 10 bombs, then I will start the second level with 10 bombs. So the more you go, the harder level gets, but at the same time, the more bombs you have, so that balances out. So it's just 3 levels of destroying tiles.
Yeah.
I did that, won the game. That's it. If I remember correctly, you just play in silence. There's no Gorillaz music going on at the background. It was really just like a distraction that was available on their website
Yeah.
back in the day.
I wonder if maybe on their original website, like maybe they had tracks playing and like this was also just available.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Probably, I guess. So, yeah, that's Gorillaz Tiles. It was a fun distraction. I would assume that you don't have much to ask about this game.
Nope.
I will put it in this is fine.
Yeah.
I was expecting a block destroying game. That's what I got. Like,
Yep.
that's perfect fine. Nothing more, nothing less. And the last game I'm gonna talk about, because I really was scraping for games this episode, is Mini-Putt, a game I found on itch.io, free game that you can play online, and you have to go through 9 mini golf courses. And the way that you control the ball is that, like often in those mini golf games, you have to click and then move backwards to like make your shot to be stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, you have to kind of click where you want your ball to go, and the farther you are from the ball, the stronger it will roll. But this game kind of sucks.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's absolutely no momentum. You just hit, and the ball will go flying. If it hits like the border, it will just continue moving at the same speed. So you basically have fixed distances where you go by clicking where you're clicking with the different force of shooting your ball. And going to the hole is super sensitive. Like I said, there's no momentum. So you either stop in the hole or you don't stop in the hole. There's no like rolling slowly toward the hole and then falling in it. If you're 2 pixels next to the hole, you're not in the hole. It's it's stupid. Like, you can have half of your ball over the hole, but that won't count in the game. And yeah, and they introduce like other kind of hazards in the levels. You have sand that will just make your shot go slower, but like I said, there's no momentum, so it's just like, okay, it goes slower in that portion of the level. If you hit water, you restart the whole level from the beginning. They are like weird teleporters, and you do 9 holes, you get a score, and the guy is like, "Oh, I hope you like my little game." I'm like, "No, not really. I was trying to play a short mini golf game, and yours wasn't really fun."
Yeah.
Yep, that's Mini-Putt on itch.io. I just searched for, because I will talk more about mini golf
Yeah.
in my hobby section. So I just searched for a mini golf game, and I took the first one, and I would put Mini-Putt in almost trash. there's like there's not much there. I mean, it does what it sets out to do. It's a mini golf
Right.
game. So I wouldn't put it in back in the trash because like I played a mini golf game. That's what I asked, but it's the straight bare minimum of mini golf game.
You don't have a PS4, right?
I do not.
Okay. There's a mini golf game on PS4. It's also available on Steam called Mini Golf Adventure, which
Okay.
is one of the worst mini golf games I've ever played.
Wow.
I wanted to know if you had played this piece of shit.
No, I have not, but it gets super cheap on Steam, so
It does.
I guess I could always try it. The
Do,
the video game mini golf game I'm most familiar with is 3D Ultra Mini Golf Adventures, and this
okay.
one pretty fun. It was I think it released for Xbox 360 and it's now
Mhm.
on Steam for like $10 and it's worth it. It's a fun mini golf game.
Okay. All right. I don't want to go on too long about Mini Golf Adventure, but this is the kind of game where like there's a loop the loop in the middle of
Yeah.
a and instead of your ball actually going around the loop like it's supposed to, it'll go like it's like they haven't figured out the physics engine right, so it'll go like up the ramp and then shoot off the loop backwards instead of going up and around.
Terrible.
Or the ball will like hit into a wall, and if you hit the wall too hard, it'll bounce up and off the course. It's pretty terrible.
Wow. It has 9 reviews on Steam and half of them are negative. So
It sounds about right.
yep.
All right, that's enough about that.
Yeah, that's enough mini golf video game for now.
I have one final game that I started playing today, actually called Foot LOL. This is
Okay.
a soccer game. Well, it's kind of a soccer game. So this was gifted to me by our friend Mr. Mo.
Okay.
And he had sent me a message and he was like, "Here, you can have this. I got it for free." And he sent me the Steam key for it, and I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, this seems fine. It looks like chaos soccer." What I
Yeah.
was not expecting is that this game is kind of like an RTS.
What?
So
Wow.
so you're not controlling the characters on the soccer field. Instead, what you're doing is you're moving a cursor around while your characters run around the soccer field trying to play soccer, and you're doing things like dropping mines under your opponents to blow them up to get them out of the way of your guys so that you can score goals. Or
Okay.
putting shields on your characters so that they can't be blown up by mines, or putting barriers down to prevent the soccer ball from going into your goal. You have these abilities that you unlock over the course of the game that are and then you at the start of each level you choose which abilities you want to use and you see what abilities your opponents are going to be using, and so you're trying to choose what abilities are going to allow you to be able to score and also what abilities are going to counter what your opponent is trying to do. So for instance, the shield ability, it puts down like these big bubble shields that prevents both the little characters and the ball from being able to pass through it. You can get rid of that by dropping meteors onto the shield. So if you see that your opponent has the shield, you take the meteor ability, and then whenever they drop down the shields, and your guys are getting close to the point where they're approaching the goal or getting to the point where like they would need to get through that shielded area, you drop a meteor onto the shields, blow up the shields, and whoever is around them, because it's going to cause a big explosion and dudes are going to go flying, and it's
Mm,
just a chaos simulator essentially, but
I
it
see.
plays like an RTS where you're just pointing and clicking onto the field and causing things to happen and trying to play like chaos football.
Wow.
It's fun. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty fun. I did not know what to expect from this. I thought it was going to be kind of stupid, and I'm having a really good time with it. I don't think it's very deep, and I think it's probably a little longer than I would like it to be because there's
Mhm.
4 different planets of levels, and I think each one of the planets has 30 levels. So that's 120 levels that you have to play. I'm almost at the end of the first set of 30. It might even be 40. I'm not actually 100% sure on that exact number. But I played it for about 2 hours this morning before I went to work. And yeah, so this is one of those games where I am torn on where I want to put it. This is one of those where, like, we've talked about before, where we need a secondary B tier, because it's not
Yeah.
quite this is fine, but it's also not quite great. It really belongs somewhere right in between those two. I'm gonna
Mhm.
put it into this is fine, because I think
Okay.
it's going to drag on a little bit too long for me to want to finish it. But as a fun game to turn on for 20 minutes, I think it's a really good time. And like, I had a good time playing it for 2 hours this morning, And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna play more of it for sure.
That sounds more than fine. Yeah.
Let's move on to some hobby time. All right. So I have two things that I want to talk about. One is a small thing. I built another Gunpla model. I built Death Scythe, who is from Gundam Wing, I think. I don't know. I don't watch Gundam. I just like building the robots. I build cool robots. I sent you a picture of this guy
Yeah, yeah. It looks
in
great. And
the Discord.
you're just I mean just, but you're just assembling the stuff. This one you're not painting or anything,
Nope.
right?
No, these Gundam models, they come in like cast plastic in color. So not painting. I didn't do any painting on that one. Sometimes some of the other ones that I've done, I've gone through and I do like put stickers and decals on, and I'll do panel lining where like I'm drawing the lines in between all of the panels on the
seams.
robot. Yeah, I didn't do anything on this one. So lower grade kit. It was an HG. It was a good kit. I liked it. It was a fun build. It's got a couple pieces where it's just like kind of loose. That's just it happens. It's just a thing that happens. Yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine kit. I enjoyed it and it looks good on the shelf. I'm not doing any more to it. I don't feel like doing lining on anything.
What will happen when you don't? Do you ever sell those stuff?
I
What will
haven't yet.
What will happen when you won't have any more shelf space?
I'll put up another shelf.
Right.
Yeah, so like where I'm sitting at right here. So I have my two computer monitors directly in front of me, and then I have two shelves above that, and those have Gundams and other figures on them. And some of that is going to be leaving. I have this big model of Godzilla over here that's like 2 feet tall that I built and painted a few years ago. I think I'm gonna get rid of that because it's just huge and takes up so much fucking space. So I'm not even gonna try and sell it. I paid like $50 for the model kit and put it together and painted it and everything. I think I'm just gonna donate it to the thrift store and somebody else can buy it for $5 and whatever.
Bring it to Polycon. Someone will leave with it.
I know that is too big. I said it's 2 feet tall.
I
It's
know.
literally 2 feet tall. I'm not flying with that fucking thing.
You're not flying with a backpack and Godzilla.
No. But yeah, so like that'll eventually be out of here and that'll free up a whole bunch of space. There's some other stuff that I need to get rid of that yeah. Stuff will move and then new stuff will get put on the shelf and maybe I'll put up another shelf at some point in time. But the other thing I started working on was one of my scale resin cast resin kits. This one is a Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, which I also sent you some pictures of that kit.
Yeah.
So this is from a company called Kotobukiyo, which is a Japanese model company. This model was produced in the mid 2000s. I want to say like 2002-ish was when it was produced. So been out of production for quite a while, and I have the box right here from Japan, and yeah, it's a really cool kit. It's a really cool model kit. Couple of things about this one. There's a couple things that I'm doing differently with this one than I've done with some of my others. There is an actual paint guide in the instruction manual for
Okay.
this kit, and that paint guide uses there's a specific brand over here. They're called Mr. Color, which is
Okay.
these little paint bottles right here.
Oh,
But these
cool.
are Mr. Hobby in Japan, which is a brand of lacquer paint, and they've been making paints since like the 60s for Japanese model kits. And they're really popular for most scale modeling outside of like miniatures. So like
Okay.
not Warhammer, because these are lacquer based instead of
Mhm.
water based paints. So like when I paint Warhammer, that's all done almost entirely with water based acrylics. These are lacquer based paints, which means I need ventilation to the outside because lacquer
Uh-huh.
is highly flammable and very dangerous. I need to be wearing a full to
Yeah,
fill.
yeah, yeah.
Pardon me, sorry.
Wow.
So dual filter respirator, so that I'm not breathing in toxic fumes while I'm working with this paint. It's real fucking nasty stuff.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that you can do with lacquer paint that you can't do with acrylic paint, like thin it down really, really, really thin and airbrush it and get extremely thin layers that are still pigment dense. So still get
Wow.
vibrant colors while being like extremely thin. You can sand it really well. It takes sanding really well. Acrylic paint, you basically cannot sand at all without just completely destroying all of the paint that you just put on.
Uh-huh.
With lacquer, because of the way that it works and adheres to what you're painting, you're able to like if you fuck something up, you can sand it slightly and it only removes a little bit to where it doesn't look like shit and look like there's a layer on top of another layer like paint. So there's things that you can do. So I wanted to try and paint this entire kit with lacquers, which I've only done a couple of kits with lacquer paints before, but I wanted to actually follow the paint guide, so I'm using all the same colors. I need to go and buy a few more paints. Yeah, I'll be working on this for the next month, at least.
Nice.
So
Wow. Cool. So you just started. How far are you into it?
I have all of the pieces sanded and primed. So I'm
Cool.
getting ready to start actually painting one of the pieces. I'm primed, and then I have a bunch of the pieces masked off. So I have to there. So like there's pieces. It's pieces like this leg piece here,
Yep.
where her leg and foot are all one piece,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to get any of her flesh tone onto the boot. So I have to completely tape off the boot so that I can
Yep.
airbrush all of the leg. And then once the
Mm-hmm.
leg is done, I'll mask off all of the leg and then paint
Yeah.
the boot. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just this long, tedious process of, well, I have to do that. And then I have to do that multiple times with some of the. And then there's a couple parts that are going to be kind of a pain in the ass. She has like this red jacket that she wears and it goes around her, but it's in two pieces. So what that means is that I'm gonna have to paint that after I'm gonna have to fully paint her body and then put that jacket around her body after I've painted it in two separate pieces. But then there's gonna be a big gap in the back of it. And I'm gonna have to fill that gap and sand that to make it look like it's one solid piece instead of two separate pieces that are joined by
Wow.
a gap.
Mm-hmm.
And then repaint it to make both of
Match.
those
Yeah.
pieces match.
Wow.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds really fun.
Yeah,
And
I
I
enjoy
know
it.
you love Cowboy Bebop. Is it your
Yes,
first Cowboy Bebop model? Do you have any other models that you are eyeing to make in the future?
I have 7 that I've already painted.
Wow.
Actually, no, 7 plus 6, so 13. Because I have 6 others up here that are gachapon figures. So they came out
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
basically gotcha machines,
Yep.
but
Yep.
they were unpainted versions of those, and I painted those a long time ago. Um, so yeah, and then I have So I have this version of Faye from Kotobukiya, and then give me just a second. Let me find the other one really quick.
Okay. While Chris is searching, I might tell you about the time I have not watched Cowboy Bebop. I was sitting on my couch and I was like, yeah, I could watch something, and decided to not watch Cowboy Bebop. I instead chose to watch Squid Game, and that was like a couple days ago. And I watched it in French because I was too lazy to read some subtitles while I was like cooking and watching the show. I was entertaining our audience while you were searching for your multi.
Okay. So I have this one also. This is from a company called Ami Grand. And they are no longer in existence. This is from 98.
Wow.
I think that's right. Might be 99. But yeah, this is really old. And I
Yep.
have the full set of these Ami Grand kits, and I've painted the other 3 of them, and then I've just not painted this one of Faye. And then I have 4 model kits for resin kits for each of the 4 ships from Cowboy Bebop. Those were produced by a company called Club M.
Okay.
And those are extremely rare. Like,
Wow.
So far as we have been able to tell, one of them was made to order, and there were only 10 of them made.
Incredible.
And I have one of them.
Do you import all of that from Japan or?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. Do you have a model of Video Kid from Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. That's Ed.
Yeah.
I've got 2. I've got one over there and one up here. Yeah, so I've got those 2. I've got, let's see, so that's 1, and then I've got, I think, 3 other character kits from Bebop that I haven't painted also. I have a
Cool.
lot. I have a lot of
Nice.
unpainted kits.
Yeah, a lot of projects. That's very
Mhm.
cool. Can't wait to see that materialized.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while. Not to continue to ramble on about this. It's kind of a pain to get everything set up to start airbrushing lacquers, just because I have to take so many precautions. Like, it can't be too humid outside because I have to open my window to be able to vent the airbrush booth outside. And
Yeah.
if it's too humid, then the moisture in the air will react with the paint, and so like I haven't been able to paint for the past week because it's been too humid, and I just can't. So
Yeah, I
it
get that.
it sucks, but I enjoy it when I'm able to do it. So
Nice. So that's your hobby time for this.
yeah, that's my
right?
hobby time.
That's super cool. On my end, I've done a lot of things. First thing I'm gonna talk about is the second thing I put on our list, and it's the Arctic Eggs controller.
Nice.
You told me about Arctic Eggs a while back, the game where you fry eggs using a pan, and I said, "Oh, it would be fun to play with an actual like pan to flip
Mhm.
the eggs." So I went ahead and made an Arctic Eggs controller. The way I'm gonna check if I can bring it to Polycon because I won't be putting any checked luggage, so I don't know if I can bring the pan in the actual airplane. I think I
Okay.
could, but I will check. I will try to bring it to you
Okay.
in next week. But anyway, so the way I managed to make it work is that I connect my phone to my computer using Steam Link. And using Steam controller, there are mods for to use like motion control to control the game. So you could
Mhm.
control the game using like an Xbox controller with actual like with
Gyro
actual
tilt.
motion, yeah, with gyro
Yeah.
tilt. But since I don't have any gyro controllers, and that wouldn't really fit on a pan. I decided to use my phone because my phone has gyro in it. And so the first thing I did is connect my phone to the computer, install that mod, and just by setting one or two different calibration things, I managed to play the game by tilting my phone. And I was like, okay, that works. So I went to the dollar store, I bought a little pan made for eggs and stuff. So it's like a 5-inch pan, really small pan, like big like that. And I drilled a hole in the middle and I just screw a phone holder in the middle of the pan that I had lying around. So now I can connect my phone to the computer. There's a game running through Steam Link on my phone and the computer at the same time. I install the phone on the pan and then I can just control the game using the pan and the phone. It's a bit awkward to move around while you're not flipping the eggs because you have to like hold the phone in the pan to move around using like the virtual joystick and turn the phone to use the mouse. But once you're in the actual egg flipping mini game of part of the game, it works so well. You're actually like using the pan and you like each movement really translate to the pan in the game. My wife and my daughter actually had a blast using the pan to just try to flipping the eggs, and my daughter is a bit of a sore loser, so she was getting really angry because she wasn't being able to actually keep the eggs in the pan because it can get a little bit sensitive. You can adjust the sensitivity with like with a mouse by using the scroll wheel. But honestly, once you have that sensitivity set to what something that feels comfortable to you with you, it's an absolute blast to play the game with an actual pan. And yeah, and I will like normally I will bring my computer and the pan in the plane, so I will have Arctic Eggs installed on my laptop, so you will be able to try it, hopefully, and I will give you the pan. If I can manage to bring it to Pittsburgh, I'm gonna give you the pan so you can try it with your phone and your setup back in your home when
That'd
you
be great.
yeah. So that's the plan, and I think
I'll
you're
show
gonna love
you
it.
the
It's
entire game with the
oh,
pan.
I can't wait to see that. And and really it was just it's such a simple mod. Like I just drill a hole in the pan, put my phone in it, but it works. It just works. I like simple solutions with like there are a lot of YouTube videos of people like 3D printing stuff and then using microcontrollers and programming. And I'm like I have so little free time. I like finding like ways to to just fit two simple things together and make it work. And I'm glad it worked.
Excellent. I can't wait. We're gonna make everybody play that game. If you can get that into your
oh
luggage,
man.
we're gonna
Oh yeah. It's gonna yeah. I can see that being a highlight of the weekend.
Yeah.
So my second thing I'm gonna talk about is kind of a larger subject. I'm deep into mini golf right now. I said last episode I filmed my video where I went around playing like a bunch of mini golf holes in a single day, and since then I have started two different projects related to mini golf in my free time. First thing, I went to my brother's last weekend and we built a mini golf hole in his garage with like wood. He's a carpenter. That's his job, so he knows what he's doing. And what we've done is we took a 6x8 plywood sheet and cut it in half. So our hole is like 3x8, and we've bought them. How do you say in English? I don't know. I'm trying to find the word of what we use for like the actual geotextile. Does that make sense to you if I say that?
So like for the turf for the
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, we use like commercial geotextile to use as the turf of the actual mini golf hole because in Quebec, since the 90s, there are competitions, like actual like professional mini golf players playing on two different sets of holes, and that turf really resembles the turf, like the actual geotextile, like the great geotextile that we've chose. It's really close to that. It's maybe exactly that they've painted green. I don't know, but it's really close to that. And the whole like concept of that mini golf competition that every hole should be part two. So every hole you should be able to do as a single putt. That's like the goal of those competition. You do one putt, and if you get the birdie, you get that in one hole. That's like what you're shooting for.
Right.
And if you're not doing a mistake, usually you will get a two on each hole. So the more birdies you do, the more closest you are to a perfect game and actually winning the competition. So our first hole, we've done that. When we cut everything, we then put some 2x4s or something like that under it, so there's some space to put a hole and actually have the ball fall in the hole. And for the side of the hole, we use some like plastic things that are sold to put like on small plastic fences for like edges and stuff.
Okay.
And it felt right when we bought it, and it was really extremely cheap. It cost like $5 each, and we bought three, so it was like $15 to just install the sides of the hole. But when we actually tried it, the ball just wouldn't bounce. It absorbed all the impact. So that kind of sucked. But since then, I went to the dollar store, and there are like plants, like vine tutors that are in like a T-shaped tutor. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I do not.
Okay, I will try to find. I will try to
Sorry.
find. I know it's fine. It's fine. I'm kind of deep in shit in the middle of. Okay, I'm gonna send this image to you. This should make sense. So yeah, so it's like a big metal bar, T-shaped. I found that at the dollar store for like $5, 6 feet long. So we will replace our side of our mini golf course with that. And I was like at the dollar store on the floor rolling a ball into it to see if it actually bounced, and it seems to work really good because
Okay.
it's just like big heavy metal.
So that or is that steel?
The one I bought was steel, I believe.
Okay.
Because it was fairly heavy. So I think it was steel. So yeah. So that's what we're building, and there's this big flea market open to the public near my house, like a kilometer away in the park every year. So oh, damn, I'm losing my English right now. But we've asked for 2 tables at that event in 2 months, and we'll try to build a second hole until then, and we will try to use like that flea market space to showcase our mini golf holes and like ask like $2 to try both holes, and people will be able to like try the holes and everything. I like For next summer, we would like to have like a full 9 hole set that we could pay, ask people to
Pay
pay
and play.
to
Yeah.
yeah, to like yeah. I'm losing my English right now, but people could buy this
Right.
could rent this mini golf set for a weekend or so. So
Okay.
we're working towards that. I think we have something that's pretty good, like the way we're making them and the way it feels, especially with the new metal sides that we're gonna put. So I'm pretty excited to continue working on that. And we have like other plans to expand on it. Like we would like to do like a first 9 holes, but then we would like to do like more traditional holes that are 16 feet long with by like using 2 8 feet wide feet long plywood sheet and like folding them one on the other, so it's actually easy to transport but also easy to install, and it's one big continuous
Right.
mini golf hole. So there's that. On the other side of the mini golf tangent, my sister lended me her 3D printer because she has like 3D printers, I think. And this one she won for free, but it's linked to her account. So she felt like bad actually like reselling it because it's tied to her account and she got it for free. So I got an Elegoo Sensory Carbon 3D printer. It's like an enclosed 3D printer, and man, it's so freaking fun using a 3D printer. It's my first time having one in my home, and I'm having a blast with it. I have a bunch of ideas on how to build like fun things with it. But right now, I'm trying to build putter heads with that. So I use Tinkercad to like model an actual putter head, and I use butter knife from the dollar store to use as like the weight and the middle part of the build. So I'm like printing the shape of the putter in plastic, and then I'm gluing all the middle parts to it. So it's actually heavy and usable and doesn't feel like you're using a toy by hitting the ball. And I've ordered some tape from Amazon that should arrive tomorrow, and I've bought some metallic foil tape that I will use to put over all the glued and plastic and everything, so it should feel like one big coherent metal piece. So, and I bought like a walking stick from the dollar store to use as the stick for the putter. So I think I will actually have like some decent putter that I will be able like to print and to make, and I'd like to have like those putters to be available to buy in when we'll do our mini golf event at the flea market, and maybe even like print my logo of my YouTube channel on it and have that as a merch item that people can order and I can just print and make on demand. So that's has been one of my projects too. I don't know if you've seen the pictures in the that I sent in the Polykill Discord, but yeah, that's another thing I've been cool. That's another thing I've been working on the side. And today I went to because I'm thinking of in 2 weeks, after Polycon and everything, I think I will try to go to the mini golf league. It's once a week on the Wednesdays, and I think I'm gonna try to get into that universe for the rest of the season because I really like mini golf and I had a blast filming my video and meeting all those people. I went ahead and bought some Callaway super soft pink matte balls today. They look like oh dang.
Throwing them at me.
Yeah, they look so freaking good. So yeah, I think for the rest of the season I might go to the league, and next year I might start doing some tournaments because I'm really deep into mini golf. I will still talk about mini golf in the loot section, but yeah.
Cool. You're going down a deep rabbit hole. I understand.
Oh yeah. I get hyper fixated. Like I always love mini golf, but like meeting people and everything is just
Yeah.
And now we're building like our own course, so I would like to turn maybe that into a video and invite people to play on our course as like a tournament and film that and use
Mhm.
that as a video. So there's like a lot of potential of turning that hobby into something bigger.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely understand.
Cool, cool, cool. All right.
All right. Done with the mini golf
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, for
Until next
now,
time.
until next time. I
All right. Let's do some loot box. So I have two videos to shout out. The first one is
yeah.
from a channel called Jorts. Are you familiar with this channel?
Oh yeah, I love Jorts. I've been sub
Okay.
for at least a year since yeah, I've been watching him. Like he's been doing. At first, he was doing like how fast can you touch grass on in
Yep.
every Mario game. So that's when I found about him, and I've been subscribed since.
Yep. So he had a video come out called "Ranking Every Mario World Track by How Safe It Is," and
Yeah.
he just goes around and he's like, "Well, this is an obvious safety violation," and gives it an arbitrary rank. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's just silly little things going
Yep.
around, and I like it's stupid. Like it's really
Yeah.
stupid, but I like that he's not just some random YouTuber giving his own opinion on the latest Mario stuff. He's like using those new games, those new systems to branch off and do his own thing and find other silly ideas of what kind of angle can we take this new Mario Kart game and spin that off into a video. And
Yeah.
I like that. I like the creativity.
Yeah, he's out there being silly, doing his funny little thing, and
Yeah.
it's working for him apparently. So,
Yeah.
no hate, no criticism.
Exactly. Right.
And then second video, our friend Bad Times shared this content creator with me. It's this guy called Marsh, and the video I'm specifically shouting out here is called the Soul Hackers Experience. He has this whole series where it's name of a game experience, and it's like hour to 2 hour long deep dive on most likely something related to Shin Megami Tensei that never released over here in the West. So it's Japanese RPGs that are hard as fuck. And he
Wow.
just talks about them. And they're entertaining videos, and he's talking about games that I'm never going to play. And I've been having a good time watching his stuff.
Great. Nice. On my end.
That's it.
Cool. On my end, I have two mini golf related videos to shout out.
Nice.
The first one is from the channel called The Warehouse Challenge. It was recommended to me by our friend Burger Champ that we're going to meet for the first time. I'm gonna meet him for the first time next week. I don't know for you if you.
The only person I've met in person is from the Polykill Discord is Caleb and Steve.
Okay, cool. So we're both gonna meet him next week. But Burger Champ, our friend, recommended this to me and was like, "Yeah, I saw this. I'm sure Potomax would love this." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, I'm gonna love this." And the video is called "I Invented a New Baseball Golf Hybrid Sport." And from what I've seen, this channel is just a bunch of guys goofing off in a warehouse playing random sports. And
Cool.
this one, they decided that they had to play a new golf baseball hybrid. And the way that it works is that you were basically driving a soft baseball ball, so not a real baseball ball, but just like a fake baseball ball it made in rubber and stuff. And you're driving that towards a wall. And if opposing team is not catching it, then the ball ends up on the green, and the green is made of different bases, and at the end of the inning you get to putt real baseball balls on those spots into the bases. And they just created that sport and 3 innings of them driving balls and putting balls, and it's chaotic, it's dumb, it's just fun. It's just a fun ride. And it reminded me that I invented the sport with my cousin and my brother like 15 years ago during a Christmas that we were getting really bored, and we invented chess ball. And the goal of chess ball is you're like 6 feet from your opponent, and you're throwing a ball toward his chest, and the other guy must rebound the ball with his chest and then catch it before it reaches the ground. So like the strategy is to like try to throw the ball towards the side of the chest so it gets like weird rebounds and stuff. So, and if you miss the other player, you're not able to make a point. And if you hit the face, then you have a penalty and stuff like that. And it's actually kind of fun. I have not played chess ball in a while, but I feel like this is something I should make a video about. Like gather a bunch of friends and people around and just make a big chess ball tournament and see what happens. So yeah, keep an eye on that. I might do this sooner rather than later.
Fun.
Cool. And my final recommendation for my loot box is, it's all in French, but it's what I've been watching recently. It's the Mini-Putt Cup from 2021. So, like I said, in the 90s, it was like really big in Quebec, and it was actually on TV on our sports network channel. It was the mini golf challenge, I think it was called, if we translated it in English. And during COVID, I guess they didn't have a lot of sports that they could diffuse, and they managed to get a deal to bring back the mini golf on TV during COVID, and we got the Mini-Putt Cup 2021. It's all on YouTube, and man, it's just so cozy and so fun to watch. And the challenge, the way they are doing their challenge in that show, it's like a skins game. So you get one putt, it's birthday or nothing. So there are foursomes, so 4 players going one after the other on the same holes, and if you get a birdie, you get a point. If you don't get a birdie, you don't get a point. And there's also like $60 in play for every hole. And if you're the only one making a birdie for that hole, you get that $60. Otherwise, it gets pushed back for the next hole. So if during like 5 holes, people make multiple birdies or nobody make birdies, on that 5th hole, if you're the only one to make a birdie, you get $300. And yeah, and I'm kind of becoming an expert on Mini-Cup. I'm watching this, and then people start a putt. I'm like, yeah, that's way too fast. That won't make it to the hole. And that's what happens. I'm getting like an analyst eye on mini golf, and that get me pumped up to actually try to go and play into a league. So I would recommend people to try it out. I think it's a super fun watch, even if you don't understand French. Just seeing the ball roll and getting those birdies and those reactions is super fun.
Cool. I might watch a little bit of that.
All right. The first episode is different because it's like the qualifications around. So there are head-to-heads, and they have 3 balls to make 3 birdies on the same hole. And the first episode is all that. And if you make the one who makes the most birdies for the hole gets sent up to the actual competition, like I just described. So depending on what you're wanting to watch, you might want to start with episode 2 to get into the actual competition.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a podcast. We did a podcast.
Absolutely. We don't have any emails. So
no, we don't.
If you want us to go even longer, you can send us some emails at the TrashStation at gmail.com. Yeah.
And we would like to thank Heath Aldrich for our intro and outro music. You can find links to all of his music on his Bandcamp page at heathaldrich.bandcamp.com.
And we would like we would also like to thank Rainbow Savvy Designs for our logo. Links to both of their works will be available in the show notes.
And you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/scotchandhobbies. I am actually going to stream this coming Monday, and I am tier listing the year 2000 in video games.
Ooh, interesting.
So the day that this episode comes out, I will be tier listing the year 2000 over there on Twitch.
Wow. I think my pick for 2000 would be, just looking at it real quick, I think it would be Majora's Mask.
It's a strong contender.
Yeah.
I currently have 26 games that I will be tier listing that I've played.
Awesome.
I'm not tier listing anything that I've not played, but I'll have 26 games to talk about. So that'll probably be a solid hour and a half, 2 hours of me waffling over what I think is Jet Set Radio actually better than Kessin? I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, have you played Giants Citizen Kabuto?
I have not. I own it.
Okay.
I own it on PS2. The PC release came out in the year 2000. The PS2 port came out in like 2002 or early 2003.
Oh wow, interesting.
So
interesting.
I bought that game because I saw it, I don't know, randomly somewhere. I saw the cover of it and I was like, that looks fucking stupid. I need to buy this. And it turns out it's like $7 on eBay. So I bought it. And then it sat on my shelf for the last year.
Great pick. When I was young, we had an iMac G3, so we were really limited in the number of games that we could actually buy. Mm-hmm. And this one was actually released Mac OS back in the day, so we ended up buying it into the Mac computer store that we were going to, and I have like fond memories of playing this game. There are like 3 different sections in the game. There are like third-person action game, a kind of first-person monster game, and an RTS, like a third-person RTS section to the game. It's really interesting. I think you would like it.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the games that I have here, and I don't know, of these 26 games that I've played from 2000, I don't know what I would put in last place as the worst game from the year 2000, because there's just probably Fantavision. Have you ever played Fantavision?
No, I don't think so.
It was a release PS2 game, and it's like this puzzle game that is about fireworks, and it kind of sucks.
It looks like Boom Boom Rocket. Is it related to Boom Boom Rocket?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know some people love that game, but I did not have fun with it when I played it. So there's a spoiler. That might be the worst game of 2000.
Yeah, that looks weird. That looks really weird. But at the same time, it's competing with like great games. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's competing with like Banjo-Tooie, Crazy Taxi, Dead or Alive 2, Kirby and the Crystal Shards, Mario Party 2, Space Channel 5, Resident Evil Code Veronica, Shenmue, Power Stone 2, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Silver, Perfect Dark, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, MDK 2, Mario Tennis, 007 The World Is Not Enough, Age of Empires 2, the Conquerors expansion, specifically those 5 extra factions in the Conquerors expansion. Good stuff in there. Spyro Year of the Dragon, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage, Tekken Tag Tournament, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Threads of Fate.
Wow.
2000 was crazy. There's some good stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that first Mario Tennis is such a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic. It's a really good game.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, On my end, if you want to play some of my games, you can check out my itch.io page at potomax.itch.io. Otherwise, you can see what I'm playing on Blusky at Potomax. And if you speak French or like to read some subtitles, I have a ton of videos on the good old YouTube at youtube.com/jeuxbière.
And you can find the show at TrashStation Pod on Blue Sky.
Yep. Well, that was
That's
fun.
it. It was.
See you in person next week and see you on the podcast in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.